A man named Spike from the removal company, Handle Me Gently, arrives at a house. He is helping Natasha to move her house. She takes him inside and shows him all the things that needs to be moved. He checks the breakables, which are all broken already. Natasha starts crying. She has been really stressed because of the house moving. Her husband Julian arrives. He is making cake, which is still in the oven, so he wants Spike to come back another time. But his company works on allocations only, which means if they don't move today, it'll be weeks before he can get here again. Julian's dad, Percy, comes downstairs. Percy believes himself to be Andrew, a famous composer, and gets angry at Spike. Spike's phone starts ringing. Percy vomits on Julian. Spike goes to the bathroom to get a towel, but finds a dead body inside. Percy has a heart attack. Spike accidentally knocks down the carpet, revealing another body wrapped inside. Julian points his mitten at Spike, but Natasha stabs Julian in the back with a screwdriver, killing him. 10 minutes ago, Julian is making poisonous cocoa for Percy. Percy gets angry with Julian for being too sad. He drinks his cocoa. The bell rings. Julian puts on a robe and goes downstairs. It's the woman from earlier who introduces herself as a friend of Natasha. Julian tells her that Natasha has gone to pick up Removal Man because he got lost. She came here to return a screwdriver. Percy starts screaming, so Julian goes upstairs to check him out. Percy is in pain after drinking the cocoa. Natasha's friend starts going through the stuff looking for something. She finds a recorder and puts it in her pocket. Julian arrives and pulls out a gun on her. He tells her to do exactly as he says and puts on a mitten to cover the gun. 10 minutes ago, a man enters the house. Julian is covering up the stuff. The man introduces himself as Hugo Bravington. He hands Julian the property deeds. Julian tells him that his wife is looking at some other properties at the moment. He tells Julian to look around the house and ask him any questions that he might have. Hugo keeps following him around everywhere. He gets a call and pretends to Julian that another customer is interested in the house. His phone starts ringing, blowing his cover. He starts begging to Julian that he needs this sale. Julian agrees to buy the house. He removes the cover from the furniture, revealing the body of Natasha. Julian takes out his gun and shoots Hugo. Hugo pretends to be dead and then takes the gun from him. He tries to shoot him, but the gun won't go off. Hugo tries to suffocate Julian. Julian frees himself and runs after Hugo, who locks himself in the bathroom. Julian pulls the rug under Hugo's feet. Hugo dies after hitting his head on the sink. Julian changes his bloodied clothes and wraps Natasha's body in the carpet. He hears Percy shouting from upstairs and gets irritated because he will have to kill another one. He goes upstairs and sees Percy. Percy calls him Julian, the younger brother of the famous composer that Percy thinks himself to be. Julian tells him that he'll make him a nice cup of cocoa. 10 minutes ago, Natasha is helping her dad into the bath. She tells him that she'll be downstairs to finish packing. She and her boyfriend Charles are moving to Portugal. They want to get away from Percy. She calls Hugo and asks him to come over for the house viewing. She tells him that someone's interested in the house, and she'll let them in if they get here before him. Julian, or rather the killer, enters the house. He takes out his gun and starts looking for someone. He puts his gun on the counter and removes the sheet from the furniture. Natasha arrives and mistakes him for Spike. He tries to pick up the gun, but it has become hot from being on the stove. He throws the gun into the water bucket. He puts his hand under the cold water. He takes out his gun from the bucket and shoots Natasha in the head. He tries to clean the wall from the blood when Hugo enters the house. He puts a white sheet on Natasha's body. 10 minutes ago, Natasha is wiping the floor. She puts a rug on top of a stain that she is unable to clean. Our bell rings, and it is her friend, May. She believes that her husband, Charles, is having an affair. She found a letter from his girlfriend. Natasha tries to gaslight her into thinking that there must be another explanation. Percy starts screaming from upstairs. Natasha goes upstairs. May has recorded Natasha's voice on a recorder. She calls Charles from the landline and uses Natasha's recording, confirming that Charles is having an affair with Natasha. Charles has hired a professional to kill May and tells her to call over her estate agent so she can have an alibi. She puts down the recorder, takes out a screwdriver, and leaves the house. She changes the number of the house from 6 to 9. The episode ends with the killer arriving at the house number 9. Please like and subscribe the channel for more videos like these.